Good morning, tubers. Good afternoon. This is Ted with TP Tech. We're going to talk about today the Blu 6.0 HD studio phone and the Moto G. The Blu Studio is priced at $179, but so is the Moto G. Today we're going to compare the two so you can see where your money is best well spent. Today we're going to compare size, functionality, the camera, and the video, and other things that we'll find that we can compare these phones for your $179. Although a cheap phone have been out for a long time, the Moto G changed the game when they gave a cheap phone with top quality parts within it. And some of those parts included an HD screen. The Moto G has an IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen with 16 million colors. It also has a 4.5-inch screen. It came with 720 times 1280 pixels. That's 326 ppi pixel density. And it also comes with a Corning Gorilla Glass. One of the biggest advantages that you get from Moto G is the updates that Google will do if you buy the phone from Google. This phone here updated almost immediately with the Lollipop. One of the biggest things that attracted me to the Blu phone was its 6.0 HD size phone and screen. The Blu Studio is also an IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen, 16 million color phone as well. It also has a resolution of 720 times 1280 pixel and a pixel density of 245 ppi pixels. The operating systems in both phones are Android, but one is 4.2 and the other one has been updated to Lollipop 5.0.2. The first few days my wife had this phone and it had Lollipop on it. It took her getting a little used to. She didn't like it at first. But after playing with it for about a week or so, she got used to it and it worked just as good as the other one. But you know how it is when you got a new learning curve on things. So first up, we're going to do a camera test on these two phones to see which camera is best, or see what kind of camera is on each system. First up is a shot of the Moto G. I noted with even the best lighting situations, the Moto G is lacking in color. Let's take a photograph with the Blu Studio HD 6.0. The Blu, with all the great lighting situations, is showing off that it has a great camera. Definitely better than the Moto G. But what a Blu fails you at is if you do any kind of movement whatsoever, you will get a blurry picture like this. Without image stabilization, I get a lot like that. Okay, let's try some video. First, we're going to start up with the Blu 6.0 HD 8 megapixel camera. The video is decent but lack image stabilization. That's why you see all the wobble and all that in the video, but the color representation is great. Now let's try some video from the Moto G. As you can see, the same color inaccuracy. It's like the white balance is off on it. Here are some of the specs on the phone. The Moto G is rocking a 5.0 IPS LCD touchscreen, the resolution of 740 times 1280, an iOS system with the brand new upgrades to Lollipop, chipset a quad-core Snapdragon 400, internal memory is 8 gigabytes and 1 gig of RAM. 2014 model Moto G has an SD slot, which is up to 32 gigabytes, 8 megapixel camera at 720 video. Now let's look at the Blu specs. The Blu 6.0 comes with a 6.0 IPS LCD screen at 720 times 1280 pixels at a density of 245. It also has an Android operating system, but it has KitKat 4.4.2. The chipset is a quad-core 1.3 gigahertz A7 processor. Memory card slot is SD card slot, up to 32 gigs, 1 gig of RAM. The camera is a 8 megapixel camera, and video at 1080p at 30 frames per second. The front-facing camera is 2 megapixels. Which one of these cameras would you be buying? Would it be the Blu or the Moto G? If you got small hands, I recommend the Moto G. But if you like the big phones, I recommend the Blu. You can't go wrong in either way of these phones. Both of these phones have the good and bad spots on them. They're not a top-of-the-line phone, but they are a good phone for what it is. You know, for me, I've had both of these phones, and if the Moto G was a big screen phone, I would be having the Moto G as my daily driver, especially because it has Lollipop. But since the Blu is a 6.0 and I don't have to carry my tablet, nor do I have to tether it, I'm going to pick the Blu because the camera is better. The Moto G camera is horrible, and that just throws it out the wagon for me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please give this video a thumbs up because that helps us out a lot. We appreciate you. Come back to TP Tech. Thank you.